Hey everybody, it's Ben Blackman with One Focus Marketing, and I just wanted to go ahead and get the second video out in my 5-part blog series about being over 40 and really overwhelmed with entrepreneurship. And this particular video is going to be about security, which I think is it's just crucial to overcome this fear and to feel secure about what you're doing before you actually venture out into entrepreneurship. Now, it's not going to be perfect. Nothing is regarding this. You're going to have some fear, some insecurities, doubts. All that stuff's going to remain. It's just going to be to a lesser degree. So I thought I would stand here real quick because people ask me about this particular picture I have hanging and everything about Abraham Lincoln. And I have it because this says persistence. And this is just a list of all the things that he failed at in life. And there's 3 successes on here. And as we all know, he was one of the best presidents ever, if not the best. So I keep this up to just remind me to keep going. Just because it hasn't worked out before or didn't work out doesn't mean I should just stop. Okay, because really that's the only way to fail is to stop. So I keep this up just to remind me. And I'm just going to tell you a quick story about it. I wanted this up for a long time, and I looked around to find it online, and what I found was this company who made something similar, but it was like $150 or something. And, I really wanted this to hang up on my wall, but I thought, you know what, why don't I just use a little ingenuity and see if I can't help myself here. So I hired out on one of the freelancing sites somebody to just kind of put this together, the picture, and then this part right here, and make it so that it would fit into this kind of size frame. Okay, and then I ordered this frame on Amazon. So I think I got out paying about 35, 40 bucks, something like that. And I just want to, the point I'm trying to make here, sometimes it's great to hire things out. Okay, hire out your web design, hire out, even though you could do it, hire it out. And sometimes it's good to just put your mind to work and use your own ingenuity to get something done. As long as it's not taking up a huge amount of your time or it's really not productive work. And for me, I think it was worth it. I think it was worth to do it because all I had to do was email a picture, what I wanted, and I just sent the designer an example, paid them $5. That's all I paid them, and then the frame. So I ordered the frame and then put it in the frame. So probably took my time, probably took 15 minutes, and I saved $100. So to me, that was worth it. Okay. So anyway, that's just kind of something just to think about. The other thing I have up here that you might be able to see is the puffy shirt. Now, if you are not familiar with the puffy shirt, you probably don't want to follow my blog. Okay, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, the puffy shirt, it's classic. I love it. And I keep this up because, it makes me laugh. And I have a lot of other stuff up here which you can't see right now. And these are actually my bookshelves all up and down there filled with books and whatnot that have really impacted my life and stuff. So let's just talk a little bit about security, like I said. In the blog post, I mentioned the whole part about psycho-cybernetics, which was written by Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and this is like 50 years ago. But psycho-cybernetics is really about programming your mind to activate what he referred to as the automatic success mechanism. And a lot of people, and myself included, tend to live in, at various times, their automatic failure mechanism, meaning they don't do the things that they need to do to be the success that they want to be. And this is not just about money. This is about success in any area of your life. That success really bleeds over to all of it. I mean, if you're successful in one area, you're going to be successful in all of them. Okay, so psycho-cybernetics teaches you how to activate that success mechanism, and that is key. Once you do that, then you're not going to have any problems with the security part of it or the fear. And like I said before, I'm not saying you won't have fear or that you shouldn't have fear or that you're not going to doubt what you're doing. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying it's going to be different. You're not going to feel the same way about that fear or that doubt, and it's going to go away a lot quicker because you're going to know what to do. So a couple things. If I were you, I would definitely buy the book Psycho-Cybernetics. Dan Kennedy also helped co-author some more editions of it and so forth, but any of them are just fine. and it'll really help you bring into focus, what I'm talking about here. You can also get the audio books or whatever, but just go to Amazon and check that out. So what I'm going to give you is something that you can actually do and start today to help you get, that feeling of security, so that hopefully you can get out of this whole overwhelm that might be keeping you from, starting a business, or, quitting your job, or whatever it is, to become an entrepreneur. Then this will really help get you past that. One thing that I want to address real quick, though, is that at this point you should already have a product and or service that you're thinking about, even if you haven't validated that idea. And what I mean by validation is any product or service that you are thinking about doing, all right, you need to make sure there's a market for it. Don't make a product and then find out there's no market for it. I mean, that's just a complete waste of time. So I see it happen a lot. I see people who have great ideas and they get married to the idea, and they're not willing to consider that maybe it may be a great idea, but it doesn't matter how great it is if nobody's willing to pay you for it. So you have to validate that idea, and the easiest and best way, or quickest way anyway, to validate it is to just go out on a Facebook group, join a couple of different Facebook groups, and with entrepreneurs in them, and lots of people who are willing to give feedback, and post out what your basic idea is. You don't have to put the exact part of it, but you could put the basic idea, and people will give you feedback, and they'll say, hey, yeah, I'd buy that, or I'd do that, or that really sounds good, or hey, you probably better pass, here's something you may want to consider, or whatever. So that's the whole validation idea. So like I said, you don't necessarily have to have something ready to go, okay? You can use this formula anyway. You'll just kind of have to be generic in some of the things that I'm going to suggest. So here's how I want you to get started. I want you to make a list, and you've got to dedicate the time to this, okay? It's the hardest part's going to be doing it the first time. That's going to take the longest. After that, it'll take 10 minutes a day. And if you don't have 10 minutes a day, you're not ready to be an entrepreneur. That's just the way that it is. So you have to be clear and concise and very focused on what it is that you want to do, okay? And the way that you're going to do that is you're going to make a calendar out for 90 days. Now, I don't care how you do it, however you prefer it. If you want to make a physical calendar that you can hang up on your wall, great. I suggest that highly, because it kind of sits in front of you and it's hard to ignore. But you can, do it with Google Calendar, whatever you want. But you make out a calendar for how you want your life to be the first 90 days of your entrepreneurial venture. Okay, so, what exactly you're going to do those days. Are you going to do the marketing? Are you going to do copywriting? Are you going to find a web designer? And the first 90 days, everything that you're going to do. So then you also want to write out your 6-month, but more of an overview of what you're going to do in 6 months, because in the first 90 days you're going to have to make a lot of adjustments. And so I don't want you to write out specific things for 6 months, only because they tend to change a lot after the first 90 days. So just kind of do an overview, and then an overview for a year. Okay. The reason I want to do it for a year and not like a 5-year plan, like a business plan and so forth, is because you need to make money this year. That's all there is to it, and you should. Okay, this whole thing about taking 3 to 5 years to turn a profit and all that stuff, that's great. Some people can do that, and that's fine. Unfortunately for me, I don't have that time available, and I didn't have that time available, so I wanted to go ahead and start making money now, and that's what I'm trying to convey to you. So you make out that list for 90 days, exactly everything you're going to do, and then every morning you rewrite that 90-day list. Yes, that sounds like a lot of work. Okay, but once you start to do it, it'll only take 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, but you rewrite that every day, every single morning. All right, and then you review it every single night. Okay, you just look at it and let your mind subconsciously work on it while you're asleep. Now, it takes a good 21 to roughly 60 days or so to really ingrain that into your head. But the neat thing about it is it helps your mind focus on what it is you're going to accomplish. Not what you want to accomplish, but what you're going to accomplish by having this list. So what that does is that makes you feel like, hey, I can do this, and that creates security. Okay? It's not, the it's not everything that you're going to need to start a business by any means, okay? Because we have other things to go over that you're going to need help with. But getting past this whole thing about the security of a job, which there's not really any such thing as security of a job, but getting past that and being secure with yourself that you can get this done, that you can do this. I mean, it's crucial. You've got to feel that way about it, because if you don't, and you'll either never start the business, or if you do, it may not go as well as you'd hoped, because you weren't focused on what it is you were going to accomplish, and you didn't feel like you could get it done. Now let me just, after saying all that, let me just tell you, remember, there are going to be days where you're not feeling it, okay, where you're feeling like a failure, or you're feeling like it's not going to work, or you're feeling like, should you've done this, and all that fear is going to creep in. Expect it. It'll be there. All right, and that's okay. It's perfectly normal. I watched a really cool video the other day about an entrepreneur who, what the video was about was he was basically getting into this real nice car. That's how the video started out. And, he's talking on his phone, and he's going to a really nice office and that kind of thing. But, it's kind of flashing back to before, where he kept getting, people kept saying no to him, and he was having to put in these late hours, and he was having to, do all this work. And what he basically said at the end of the video is that most people only see the end result, okay? Any entrepreneur you see out there, you're just seeing the end result. You're not seeing all the hard work they put in before, because it's not just easy. It doesn't just happen, okay? You got to work at it. There's got to be a lot of work put into it, and that's okay, all right? I mean, that's what you want. You've got to feel good about it. So if you do what I just asked you to do, you will definitely start to feel more secure about, hey, I can do this. I can get out of this work environment, this corporate job, or wherever it is that you are, and really do something with my life that's meaningful and contributes, and something I enjoy doing. Okay, so do this for the next 21 to 60 days, and let me know how it's going. I'd love to hear how it's going. And if you think I'm off my rocker here, just tell me. That's fine. I love feedback. Okay, it used to be, I'll get offended easily, or my feelings got hurt or something. I don't know. But now, at this point in my life, hey, I'm ready for the feedback. Give it to me. It doesn't mean I'm going to change anything necessarily, but I definitely want it. So, again, this is Ben Blackman with One Focus Marketing. Thanks for taking a minute to watch this video. It's probably a little longer because I am a talker, if you don't know that already. And I'll try to keep it brief on the next one. The next video and blog will be on approval, which is crucial as well. So I'll see you then.